back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye, and this is Rye's Reading Corner, and today we're gonna do a recent reads video.
But I'm right here, it's gonna be okay.
Hello, I'm Rye, and this is Rye's Reading Corner. If this is the first time you see my face. If you've not hit the subscribe button, please do so. It's super easy and it really helps my channel grow. So as you can tell by my thumbnail and my little introduction, today we're gonna be doing a recent reads video. So since I'm not playing TBR Jenga anymore, my Patreon said what they really like watching is recent reads videos, kind of like an update of what I am reading, so everyone knows what's going on. And I really have some great books that I would love to talk to you all about. So first, we're gonna start off what I read recently. I have DNF'd 2 books. One's a hard DNF, and one I just is a soft DNF. I think I am gonna go back to it, and then we'll end in what I am currently reading. So I'm just gonna go in the order that I've read the books. So total, I have completed 5 books, which is not great, but I did DNF 2, so that really kind of stinks. But the first one I have read was Powerless by Elise Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Springs series, and this one follows 2 childhood friends that become friends to lovers. And we have our main character, Jasper, who is a hockey heartthrob. He's a huge hockey player, big time. And then we have Salone, and Salone is about to get married, and something happens and the marriage falls apart, and Jasper comes in, saves the day, because they've always just been best friends. But they've always kind of, it's that type of trope where they really have liked each other, but neither one of them knew, or was always the wrong time. So we have childhood to lovers. We see them both dealing with a lot of past and a lot of trauma that kind of impacts their relationships because of that trauma in the past. So you see them kind of healing through Salone with her marriage or failed marriage, and then Jasper some things from his childhood. But you get insight from all the different characters from the other novels as well, which I really like about the Chestnut Springs series is that you don't leave these families. And this also is a road trip one. So I know a lot of people don't love road trip romances, but this one was done really well. I love kind of that forced close proximity. So if you've not picked up the Chestnut Springs series, I definitely would suggest it. Then I jumped right into Theo and Winter's story in Reckless. This is the newest one, and then the last one in the series is coming out in October, and I'm really sad. But this story is a kind of grumpy sunshine where Winter is our grumpy character and Theo is this bull rider. He's really like the hot shot around there, and Winter is coming off a bad marriage and has kind of been this cold-hearted person. She is Summer's sister, and then something happens, as you can allude to, and Winter is pregnant. So this does have a secret pregnancy trope, and I know that's not a lot of people's favorite thing in romance novels. I like it, and I think it was done really well. Seeing Theo as a father was literally so heartwarming. So you watch the 2 of them getting really to kind of know each other, as well as Theo becoming a father, and then you really get a lot about how Winter feels postpartum and adjusting to the way her body looks, and that I could really relate to. It almost made me cry while I was getting my nails done, but I absolutely love this one. I don't know if I like Theo better or Cade better, which is from Heartless. They're both top tier characters. Honestly, all of them are. So I absolutely love this one. Definitely check out the series. Then I jumped into a thriller, and I picked up Riley Sager's new book, The Only One Left. So Riley Sager has been kind of a hit or miss author lately. I absolutely love some of his books, and I absolutely don't care for some of his books at all. So we have our main character here, and her name is, I can't even remember her name, Kit, and she has been let go of her job because she was accused of something. She works as like a home elf, like a healthcare worker, and so she comes back after 6 months, and she has been given the duty to go work with this older lady that lives in this old house that no one wants to work with because she is accused of killing a bunch of her family members. But she kind of gets that job because no one else wants it, and she really can't say anything because she almost did lose her job. So she is there, and some really creepy things, weird things happen in this house, and the house itself is just really weird. And so we have flashbacks from what present day, which is the 1980s. I think it says 1983 to be specific. And then as well as we hear from Lenora, who is the patient, and she is confined to a wheelchair. She's not able to talk. However, she is able to communicate through a typewriter. So she is starting to tell her story of what happened. So people are having some mixed feelings. I do think this is getting more of a positive reaction based from like some of the last couple ones that he has written. I absolutely really liked this one. I think it was 4 or 4.5 stars. I don't remember exactly. It's my 3rd favorite of Riley Sager's. The twists and turns were really good. There were some that I did see coming. However, there was a couple at the end that I did not expect at all. I did find the first part of this book to be a little slow. It's definitely a gothic horror, so if you're not really into that gothic horror style, I could see where maybe this book isn't for you, but I really do enjoy gothic literature. Like, I didn't mind that part of it. But definitely it does pick up the second half of the book, so I definitely would say give this one a try. I like this one. Good job, Riley Sager. The next one I read was totally outside my norm, and it's the first time I've ever read a manga, and I can always struggle saying that word, and I read Alice in Borderland. This was recommended to me by Kaylee and Alexi. They've been raving about the show, so I wanted to give this book a try. Basically, it's about these teenagers who kind of are really like struggling. They're having trouble with just feeling anything positive, and so they kind of all of a sudden arrive in this like land, and they have these competitions, and if they don't like win, and then they like are killed. I don't know. It's really strange, and I feel like it's really, really hard to explain what this story is about without really spoiling anything. And I know that the show is getting a lot of praise, and I really did enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. I had no expectations going into it, and it is pretty graphic, so I can't imagine what it would be in film version, but it was pretty good. And I do have volume 2. I only read volume 1, and I am intrigued to continue on with the story. I don't really know how to describe it, just that it's like this competition, cutthroat, and it takes like mundane games like tag and makes it to a high level where people are being murdered. So definitely check that one out. I think it's a good manga to try. I enjoyed it. My most recent read and a new favorite, a 5-star read. As soon as I was about 20% into my Kindle of reading it, I did purchase it physically, and it's Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This is a romance story. We have our 2 main characters, Win and Bo. They meet at a Halloween party, and they kind of bond together because they are pirates, and they're trying to kind of play off them being pirates because our main character, Win, has an underdeveloped arm, so she uses it as like she puts a hook on it to kind of go on with the character. And then we have Bo, who has a prosthetic leg, and he like wraps it up to look like a peg leg. So they bond over this, and one thing leads to another, and they have a one-night stand that then leads to something else. So now they are bound together by Win being pregnant and them not really knowing each other. So this is their journey of Bo and Win getting to know each other, and Win kind of adjusting to how to be a mom, and also Bo kind of dealing with some of the stuff that he struggled with in the past. They're kind of both working through a lot of emotional stuff as well as just getting to know each other. The character development in this story was absolutely amazing. I honestly loved every single character in this book, and watching the relationship bloom and grow, I absolutely adored. And then there's also D&D in here. So if you're a D&D fan, which I'm not really, but the D&D scene in here was top tier, and the banter in this was so good as well. So I absolutely love this author, and I cannot wait to read more by her. And this cover is absolutely stunning. So now let's go to the books that I DNF'd. The first book I DNF'd was Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. This was the book for Cassidy's book club, Backlist Book Club. I was supposed to be a host on this one, and unfortunately just was not a book for me. I almost made it to about 100 pages. I really gave it a good old try, but it just was too much adult fantasy for me. And don't get me wrong, I really do adore adult fantasy, but a different style of adult fantasy, and this just did not work for me, unfortunately. And Cassidy, upon rereading of it, she was like, I'm nervous for I to read this one. So unfortunately I did not like it, and I did have all 3 books that was gifted them, and I've unheld them. So I'm really bummed on that one, but it just wasn't a book for me. The next one that I've paused, I wouldn't say this is a hard DNF, but it's a Elise Kova book, and I can't remember the title, but I'm going to put it here. This is a fantasy series about a girl who finds out that she has magic, and she is now learning about what it means to have magic in this world. There are different types of magic that you can be, and she is special. So it's not that I wasn't enjoying this, I just was unfortunately kind of bored. Not much was happening, and I thought maybe it was me, but then I picked up another book. I want to say it was Out on a Limb, and I was eating it up like that. So I definitely was just struggling with the writing. It was kind of slow, but I do want to try it again because Elise Kova is going to be an author at a Polycon. So in terms of what I'm currently reading, I'm reading Addicted to You. I'm super late on this one, but I've just been seeing so much hype around these authors, and I hear that they're just absolutely amazing. And this is a really hard-hitting, heartbreaking romance novel about 2 characters that are extremely addicted in their own way to different things, and them being really codependent on each other, and then kind of also making their addictions worse. It has been really hard to read, but it's so captivating, and I'm really excited to finally give this book a try. So let me know down in the comments below, what is your favorite read that you've read recently, like a 5-star read? If you're not feeling kind of talkish, let's drop a sun, because I feel like this is like a sunset. I don't know if there's a sunset emoji, but drop a sun emoji, because this book made my day. So if you want to take this crazy and chaotic journey with me, please make sure you press the subscribe button. If you want to find it on any of my other social media platforms, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And also I do have my own Patreon. All the information is linked down below on why I still holding this book. But see you, We'll see you next time. Bye!
Close your eyes.